I think people have been pulled over because they didn't stop at a stop street. Oh, okay. Well, there's more people doing it. Anyways, if you are going to enter the South African family SUV segment, you need to come out swinging. And that is exactly what Opel has done with its new Grandland. Grandland? I'm going to call it a Grandland. Okay, like Sealand. Grandland. Okay, that's fine. The thing is though, you can come out swinging. It doesn't always mean that you're going to hit something. I'm going to explain what I mean. But first, okay, I was thinking about Opel Grandlands and like that, you know, this is the brand new model, so some people might still have an older model and they're running out of warranty or their service plan is coming to an end, and so they're thinking, but I don't have maybe the means to upgrade to the newest model just yet. So did you know you can go on to hippo.co.za and get some quotes on warranties and or service plans? And then you can figure out what works for you, what your needs are, how much you want to spend, etc. Then you can get to keep your older car if you still love it. Oh, that's nice. Right, so this is like a complete revamp of this car. Like I said, it's come out swinging and it looks good. Okay, it even has some of the features from the concept car, which is like very seldom that happens. Like I love the illuminated Opel lettering on the rear. It just like, it elevates this to like a really cool vibe. It also has this IntelliLux Pixel Matrix HD, which essentially means it's like technology that makes driving at night like far safer. That's kind of the bottom line of that. And I love that because I have 20/20 vision, okay? Well, I've got great vision. I don't need glasses and stuff. But for whatever reason, when I drive at night, I'm like, oh no, there's something. And I've had my eyes tested, okay? So it's not anything. It's pretty much in my mind. But it is quite nice having sort of a system that works for you, not against you, you know? So it's bigger than the predecessor. In fact, the boot has grown by 36 litres to 550 litres. Know how much I love a big boot. The only thing is this is quite narrow. The boot is narrow, the entrance of the boot. So loading stuff might prove a bit tricky, but certainly it is a spacious boot. So that is great. So, you know, this is a family car, and so it has to be very versatile and spacious and have like a million cool storage solutions, which this has. I'll tell you about it in a second. But my suggestion, I do this to everybody. If you've got prams still and or camp cots and all the rest of it, when you test a car, take it with and put it into the boot and just check it out for yourself. The rear legroom and headroom and everything is really good back there. It's a very spacious car, very comfortable. In fact, these seats have been endorsed by like a German company that sort of promote like back health. And if you've watched my videos, you know I have had some major back issues for the last year and a half or whatever, chronic back pain. I'm so happy about that. When I first got in, I was like, I don't know if this is that comfortable, but it's that sort of thing, you know, when you need your posture, like if someone says stand up straight, it's not as comfortable, but you know that's how you should be sitting. Well, after a couple of days in this, my back doesn't hurt driving in this car. These seats are actually now very comfortable for me. They're also heated, and these front ones massage. Back ones also heated. Here's like a little tiny letdown for me. So overall, I think the cabin is really quite beautiful. It's very clean. It's very uncluttered. The problem is that there are a few things that let it down in terms of quality and sort of plasticky feeling, or the buttons. So the buttons up here, if you press them, it doesn't feel very premium. And then in the back here, these the seat heaters, I could, like, you've got to, I don't know how you're supposed to press them. I've tried everything. They were on when when I got the car. So I am assuming that someone else couldn't turn them off, because it took me, you'll see I filmed some of it trying to turn them off. Like, it took me ages. So, and it just feels, you know, when you press something and it all kind of presses together and it doesn't feel solid and sort of quality built. But that's where that ends, because the rest of this cabin for me is really, like I say, very beautiful. This screen, which is 16 inches, is really sleek, very cool looking. The instrument cluster is also like very discreet. Did I say discreet already? No, I said sleek. Sounds similar. So discreet. So I love that it doesn't take up much here. You've got a head-up display in here anyway. By the way, you only get one model, right? GS line. That's what I meant. That's it. I forgot to mention that. So everything I speak about is in this model, and it is the only one you can get. So let me talk about the infotainment screen quickly. Graphics are beautiful. It looks great. Like I say, sleek, very nice looking. I think once it takes a bit of time to familiarize yourself with it. That's fine. I don't think it's particularly user friendly. There's a lot of going into a screen to into another screen to do stuff. Also, because it's long like this, part of it is cut off behind the steering wheel. So if I want to do some stuff, I've got to tilt my head across because I can't see it. You can use voice activation and you'll eventually find your way with it, but that is something to consider. Like, it's sort of not as like I say, user friendly and maybe intuitive as I would like it to be, but everything is very much angled toward the driver, with the driver in mind. I love that the gear selector is sort of flush with the center console. Your drive modes are here. It all looks very sleek, and I think one of my favorite features in this car is what they call this pixel box. And it's again this like storage solution thing or whatever, but it's behind a transparent sort of piece of glass film vibe here. And you put your phone there, and in that is your wireless charger, and then also your USB ports and stuff like that, C ports and blah, blah, whatever's charging and all that jazz, and connecting. Because there's another thing, not wireless Android Auto, bit of a bummer. Anyways, only got with a cable. I like this because it is, again, I use the word discreet, as in I find a lot of these chargers, wireless chargers, are up here, very much in your face. And when I stop at a robot, I often move it because of smash and grab, and it's just a reality in South Africa that we just have to consider. And someone mentioned that they think this attracts a smash and grab. I think it does the opposite. This for me is fantastic because you can't get to behind it. You can't even really see it. The only problem with that is that you might forget it in there. But that's fine because then people won't really see it. It's like quite a grayed out transparent glass. So it's not like, you know what I mean, going like, hey, here's a phone, take me, you know. Anyway, so I think that is fantastic. I like it. And I love the materials in the middle. I love that there's materials, and like this is all lovely feeling, and it's, you know, Opel's wanting to be a little bit more premium in this sort of, well, in general, but certainly within this segment, and needs to be. Speaking about these materials, it's all recyclable or recycled. What's the difference? I should know that. I'm a big recycling fan. It also has an extensive safety list, or extensive list of safety features. Come on, Jules, get it together. And then, of course, one model means one engine. So you've got a 1.6 litre turbocharged engine. It's Stellantis' known engine. You shall know it. It's got 134 kilowatts of power and 330 newton meters of torque. Power is sent to the front wheels via a 6-speed automatic. And your fuel consumption is claimed at around 7 litres per 100 Ks, 5.3 on the open road. I think you're going to look at more about 8 in general, between 8, 8.4 maybe, and you can probably get that lower. Overall, it's one of those drives when you get into it, you've just got to kind of it's quite eager. The engine noise does kind of drain into the cabin a little bit, and every now and again, even though the gear selection is really quite smooth, it sometimes almost struggles to, well, doesn't sort of change quick enough. But you do have these paddle shifts that then you can do it manually if you want to. So if it's really droning into the cabin, you can just like quickly change the gear, which I wouldn't want to have to do it, but you know what, it's nice that you can. Then it's also got FSD technology, which means frequency selective damping, I think. Anyways, it just means that it sort of adjusts to different situations and different roads and so it makes for quite a smooth and comfortable ride. Overall, I've very much enjoyed driving this car. It is an excellent product from Opel. I think they've really, not that the Grandland was ever not great, but they've upped it, certainly. But here's the kicker. the price is incorrect. It's too much. So it's 780,000 Rand. Now you can get yourself a Tiguan for cheaper. You can also get yours, which is new. Also, you can get yourself a Kia Sportage as well. Those cars are almost faultless. So if you're going to come in, like I say, if you're going to come in kicking or swinging, not kicking, swinging and kicking, you need to really stand out. And what is your draw card? And unless you're faultless, then your pricing needs to be as well. And unfortunately, I haven't even mentioned the Chinese brands that come in, we know, with like excellent value for money. This for me is the main negative of this car. And it's such a shame because it is such a good product. It's got a few sort of things that it could improve on. And I could say that for many of the family SUVs, including the Chinese brands that are coming in at such good pricing. You know, there's things I can find at fault there as well. But if you're going to come in with quite a strong price, you then have to have a faultless product. And unfortunately, this isn't faultless and it's too expensive. I've sort of been asking myself, what is the redeeming factor of this car? Like what can I say to somebody who's in the market for a sort of family SUV that isn't going to then go for one of the legacy brands because they know it, but is willing to try something else? And then they're going to go, but the price of this car, this Chinese brand, is much cheaper. And I'm going to go, okay, but have you seen the Opel Grandland? And they go like, yeah, but it's so expensive compared to the legacy brands, this, and this. It's a real bummer. But if you get into one, I think you're going to like it.